guys, glad you're here. Gonna go a little slow here at the beginning to get some people on, give them a chance to know I'm live. It always takes a few minutes for people to realize I'm live. And I forgot to get a door prize together. I'll just have to pick one and surprise you. We'll talk about that here in just a minute. Okay, let me get my chat up for YouTube and see if we've got anybody over there. Okay. Oh, see, I've got a couple people starting to come on now, so I'll go ahead and get started here. Glad you're here. You notice I'm pretty much not sick anymore. I've still got a little bit of sinus problem here, but doing so much better. That last live was the first day I was getting sick, and it got pretty bad. I was sick for about 2 weeks. Well, you know, it's been 2 weeks since I did a live. The last couple days, I've been feeling more like my old self again. I've been able to make some stuff. I was a little worried I wasn't going to get projects made quick enough for this, but I was excited. I've got the 2 stamp sets that are available as part of the Get and Go promotion. If you sign up to become a demonstrator like me, I love being a demonstrator because I get all of my stuff at a discount. That's only one of the wonderful things I like about it. So many things. I've been doing it for 17 years, so if I didn't like it, I wouldn't have done it for this long. So I'll be talking about that just a little bit, but I will be making some cards once I get through all of the business stuff. I've got 3 beautiful cards. I love these 2 bonus stamp sets that they picked out, and I'll be showing you everything that gets added to your kit if you sign up during September. So let's go ahead and switch to screens. We'll go to the prize giveaways. I'm going to explain those real quick. During the live, if you comment or do any emojis like or love or anything like that, your name will get put in a drawing. Only the ones that are watching live. This is for the people watching live. You'll get your name put in a drawing to win the cards I'm going to make here at the end of the video. And what I'll do, once the video is over, I'll hurry up and compile all the names, put them in a name generator, pick a winner, and then I will come back on and put a post on YouTube and on Facebook. So make sure you know about that. Then, like I said, I forgot to grab a prize for next week. I promise it'll be a cute little embellishment of some kind. If you share my video and comment shared, and this is for people that are watching live and for people that are watching the recorded version later, you've got until next Thursday, not next Thursday, 2 weeks from Thursday. So that would be September 24th. If you have until September 24th to share the video, so if you're watching it on the 24th, go ahead and share it. You'll get put in the drawing, and I'll draw the name of the person that wins the embellishment that I'll pick out here after the video is over. And I'll share a picture on my Facebook page to let you know. And I'll put one under my community tab in a post on YouTube. Okay, first off, I want to tell you who won last week. The winner last week for sharing my video and coming shared in the comments is Debbie Green. Congratulations, Debbie. I think I've got your address. You've won before. So I will get that in the mail to you right away. And I forgot to bring that over, but they were little embellishments. If I remember right, they were the frosted flowers that we had a couple weeks ago, or I mean last year. Okay, so let's go to Paper Pumpkin. Today is the first day you can start subscribing for the new Paper Pumpkin. And this one is a Christmas version. Let me check my YouTube. It looks like we're okay there. I love fall projects, and that's what the one I'm going to be getting any day now will be, and I can't wait to get those. But I think Christmas still might be my favorite. Fall is a very close second, but Christmas is my favorite. And like my picture says, you'll get enough supplies to create 8 cards, 4 of each of 2 designs and coordinating envelopes. And when it says it contains everything, it contains an exclusive stamp set, a little ink pad spot, one of those little square ones. It comes with all the adhesive you need. All you need is grab that box and you can make these cards. And it includes die-cut pieces in English, French, and German. So if you've got friends that speak different languages, speak any one of those languages, you can use one of those die cuts and send a card to them. And they are full-size cards. They aren't mini cards this time. So that's really good. I know everybody likes it when they do the full-size cards. And it coordinates with cherry cobbler, crumb cake, early espresso, just jade, and soft sea foam. And I'll be using soft sea foam in the cards I'm making today, so you'll get to see what color that is. So those are more traditional Christmas colors, so I'm excited about that. I still love doing stuff with the Christmas colors. Okay, now I'm going to hurry up and switch to another screen. Now, whenever I cover something, do comment if you have a question for sure, and I'll try to answer it during the video. If I don't see it while I'm working or doing on the video, because sometimes I'll miss a comment because I'll be too busy to see it, I will come back right after the video and read everybody's comments and get them answered. Now, if you're on YouTube, it's a little different. Right now you're in instant chat, or I forget what it's called. But I can't get into that once the video's over. So what I'll do, if I miss your question or miss a comment, I will pin an answer to the regular comment section of the YouTube video, and you can find your answer there. Okay, let's go ahead. This is what I'm featuring in my video today, are the products that are in the Get and Go Starter Kit promotion. You get so much as a demonstrator when you sign up as a starter kit. I'm sorry, getting all mixed up here. I think my mind is still a little stopped up from the cold I had. In the starter kit is already a great deal. You get $125 worth of product. You also get a up to $50 worth of business supplies, which are order forms, catalogs, things like that. You also will get a promo code to get a free paper pumpkin kit. All of that for only $99 plus free shipping. But you are also going to get the 2 stamp sets pictured and those card kits, and you get 8 of each of those card packs. And I'm going to show you those here in just a minute. Now, my cards are not going to be using that cardstock. I want to show you some different variations that you can do with these stamp sets because they are so pretty. I love working with these stamp sets. And I've got even more for you if you sign up to be a demonstrator in my team during this promotion. I'm going to be making some more card ideas, not the ones, in addition to what I'm going to show you here in a few minutes. I'm going to make some new other cards, and I'll make videos to show you how to make those. So you'll be able to get started right away if you want to do projects for a class or invite some friends to your house. You can show them these cards and use those to show them what you can do with the stamp sets you're going to get with your kit. Of course, you can get even more stamp sets in your kit because you've got up to $125 worth to spend. But I will give you some more ideas on the 2 bonus stamp sets you get when you sign up in September. And you're going to get even more than that. If you see the picture there on the right, for those of you that are customers of mine, you have probably seen some of our online parties that we've done on Facebook. It's with Susan, Carissa, Tanya, Sherry, Teresa, and me. We're all going to get together one more time. We haven't done one for a couple months at least. And we want to give you pointers on just different tips on being a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. We're also going to demonstrate some more projects you can make with other things. It's going to be a fun time. We're all each going to do around a 20 to 30 minute live video. So and we always have to make these a lot of fun. But we'll also be giving business tips just to get you started. So that's a little addition thing to help you get your business going. Okay, I think that's everything I need to get going here. Let me look at my YouTube chat real quick. Okay, not missing anybody yet. Let's go ahead and switch screens. I'm going to start making some projects. Okay, now I want to show you everything, like I said, that you get extra if you sign up. You'll get these 2 beautiful stamp sets. I love these. They are so pretty. I couldn't wait to get these. I've been wanting them for a long time. And I went ahead, I hadn't gotten them yet, just money situation. But I thought, this is the time to get them. So I got these, and I had so much fun making these 3 cards I'm going to show you here in a minute. So you get those. This is one of the card packs that you'll be getting. You'll get 8 of these. See if I can get these on the screen. I'm not sure if I'll be able to fit them all in here or not. Here's the other card pack. So you'll get 8 of these and 8 of these, and you'll get these rhinestones. So you get all of these things in addition to the $125 worth of product and the $50 business supplies and the paper pumpkin kit with the promo code and free shipping for only $99. You cannot beat that. And there's no obligation to keep being a demonstrator. If you decide after your, let's see, this is September, so you will not have to get to your $300 minimum until the end of December. If you decide at the end of December you don't want to do this anymore, then you'll just drop and you don't have to worry about it. But if you decide, like I did, what a great, how wonderful it is to be a demonstrator, then you just have to do your $300 minimum to stay active by the end of December. So you've got plenty of time to be able to do that. Okay, let's start making some pretty cards with this. First off, I want to give you a little tip on the Queen Anne's lace. Originally, I wanted to do one with a Night of Navy with the basic gray. If you can tell me, bring it up a little closer. That Night of Navy is so dark, you can't see the lines inside of it. So I decided I wasn't going to do that. What I'm going to do next time, if I want to use Night of Navy and these two colors, I'm going to stamp off that blue. So that way you can still see the detail of the gray behind that. And you'll see what I mean by that once I start making the cards. Now let me get my YouTube chat back up, because now it'll stay up because I won't be switching screens. Okay. I'm going to grab a piece of thick Very Vanilla. This is 8.5 by 5.5. I'm going to cough. Hold on. Still have a little bit of a cough. I'm going to grab my paper trimmer. Now, one thing I have learned, this is our extra thick cardstock. And when you start to fold it, like I normally do with a card, it'll start bunching up and not make a really sharp crease. So I'm going to get my cutting blade out of the way and just use my scorer. And I'm going to score it at the 5.5 inch mark. Oops, sorry about that. 4.25 inch mark. Got ahead of myself there. There we go. That's at the halfway point. Now it's going to fold a lot easier for me. So put that back. I'll be getting that back out here in a minute. Grab my bone folder. So this is going to be the base. It's my thick Very Vanilla. Now I'm going to grab a piece. Let me think here how I want to do this. Okay, let's do some stamping first, and then we'll do all the die cutting at once. So I have to keep bringing in my die cutting machine. Oops. Now this is a photopolymer set, so I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Pierce mat. And here's my paper. This piece is, look at my cheat sheet, 1 3/4. I'm sorry, it is not. It's 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. And I'm going to grab this beauty. This is from the Queen Anne's Lace stamp set, one of the bonus stamp sets. I'm going to use my basic gray. And I made this, so I only am using 2 different ink pad colors. I'm trying to use minimum amount of stuff. I didn't check to see what this price was. You might be able to get all of this stuff in your starter kit since you get up to $125 worth. I wanted to keep it limited, so that way if you want to get everything in your starter kit, you can. I'm going to stamp this here in the middle. Near the middle. Now, as you notice, I went ahead, I didn't go ahead and stamp this because I want to be able to, I'm going to die cut this as an oval, and it's going to cut off the bottom, which is fine. That's the look I'm going for. Now I'm going to grab my Petal Pink. These are the only 2 ink pads I'm going to use on all 3 cards. And I'm going to, oh, there we go. Now you're going to see what I mean about using a lighter color with these. I'm going to line this up. With being photopolymer, it's so easy to line this up. Okay, hold that down. Always hold my stamp down for a few seconds to make sure the ink gets soaked in. There we go. Notice how you can see the gray detail underneath it. Where'd I put that blue one? That blue one, the dark navy, you just can't see that at all. I love being able to see that detail. Now, if you're going for this look, that's great. But if you ever use a dark color, I would stamp off so you can still see those colors. Okay, let's see. What else do we need to stamp? Okay, that's all I need to stamp for right now with these die cutted. So let's grab my new Stampin' Emboss, Cut and Emboss. Open this up. I love being able to store this closed up. It makes it so much easier. Get these out of the way. I'm going to be using my Layering Ovals dies. These are the only dies I'm using with this too. I'm going to use the largest oval. Take that back. I'm thinking the scallop. I want the, no, I was right. Second largest oval. There we go. And my largest scallop oval. Those are the only 2 I'm going to use. Now, I have wonderful news. You know you can get this die cutting machine now. Those of you who watch my videos, I said September 1st, you'll be able to start getting this. We can now also get the magnetic plate. Oops, let me get this back on the screen. I love this magnetic plate. It's actually another cutting plate. This is a self-healing mat on top. And then a full magnet. No little magnets like we had in the other one to where your little dies would jump between magnets. You get the whole great big magnet. I just love that. Oops, sorry, my screen went off. I've got a brand new computer and I forgot I had it set up to where the screen goes off for a second. Okay, I need my platform number 1, and platform number 2, and these come with the emboss machine, Stampin' Emboss machine. This is separate for $25. Now, this is actually going to take the place of one of the standard cutting plates, and you get 2 of these with the machine. And you also get this specialty plate, and I'll be showing you that here in a minute. So we've got 1 and 2, then magnetic platform or plate. I'm going to grab this, grab my oval. It is always different for me doing these in videos, because when I use my die cutting machine, I have it going this way, and it's easier for me to crank this way. It's a little awkward at cranking the way I have to for a video, so sometimes the machine moves on me just because of that, plus my surface is really slick. So put this through. You can tell I'm cutting off the bottom of the stems again, but that's fine. I just want to make sure I get those flowers in there. So now we've got that. I don't know if you noticed that oval did not move at all. I didn't have to use any of my washi tape that I was having to use before. It holds it down just fine. I love that. Now we're going to grab a piece of basic gray. This one is a 3x4. Put it down. Now I could just use a regular plate now, but the magnetic plate, that still is going to make it so it doesn't jump around on you. And another thing that I like, this doesn't make a big snapping noise. It still works. You're going to be like, oh, that magnet's not very strong. This will not move while you're die cutting. I really like it a lot. I had a feeling I would when I knew it was going to be a full magnet. Now, I was surprised. I didn't realize it was going to also be a cutting surface on one side. So you always want to make sure you get that light gray on top. You don't want the magnet. That needs to be on the bottom. Okay, that is all the die cutting I'm going to do for this card, but I am going to do some embossing. So we don't need the magnetic platform, and we don't need the number 2. We just need the number 1. It's going to be a regular folder. This is one of the Meadow Moments. When we get the smaller machine, this will fit the smaller machine. Let me grab a piece of Petal Pink. This is 3 3/4 by 5. And I'm only going to emboss this side. I wanted this to be... and that's why I like these little plates to do this. I didn't want to have anything over here. I just wanted it to be nice and smooth. Now, this is a regular embossing folder. It's not one of the thick 3Ds. So we're going to need 2 plates. And I forgot to grab one. Oh, good. I can reach it. I was afraid I wasn't going to be able to reach it. So here's one cutting pad. Here's this. And here's the other cutting plate. So this is the same as you use for the regular embossing folders. Both the narrow ones and the regular sized ones for a full card. Okay, we've got that. I love that. Isn't that pretty? Such a pretty embossing folder. And there's another one that goes with it. Whenever you buy these mini ones for the mini machine, you get 2 of them. I should have brought that other one with me. I didn't think to do that. Okay, that is all the die cutting we're going to do for this go around. I need to bring it out for the last card again. Let's bring all my pieces together, get them back on the screen. I need a piece of basic gray. This is 4 by 5 1/4. Grab my seal. And I'm going to make sure I'm remembering it. Yeah, there we go. I like having my originals in front of me because I was like, okay, did I put a ribbon on there? But the nice thing is, if I did need to put a piece of ribbon on here, our seal, I've said this before in some of my videos, it becomes permanent after 10 minutes. Within the first 10 minutes, you can remove this again. So let's say if I put this on here and it was crooked, I could peel it right off. I'll actually just show you. It comes right off. You still want to be a little careful, but it comes off. And then, see, nothing got torn up. With a snail, you'd end up tearing some of your fibers and stuff. Now we're going to put this on right here in the center. There we go. But after 10 minutes, that is on permanent, so you don't have to worry about it falling off later. It's going to stay on. Now let's go ahead and put this in the middle of the card base. Another pointer with the seal, in case you're new to it, don't use a real tight, don't use a lot of pressure. Just lightly go across, and it works a lot better. Sometimes if you push down too hard, that's when it starts messing up. Okay, we've got that on. Now I am using a piece of In Good Taste Designer Series paper from the annual catalog. Get this a little closer so you can see the detail on that one. I could have used the wood too, but I really wanted this one. I thought it looked better with what I was going for. I love this Designer Series paper with all the different textures, the wood grains in it. Really neat set, or paper pack. Okay, when they're long, I think it's a little easier to go horizontally when you're lining it up. Just do one end. I'm keeping my fingers under this end, as you see, to keep it raised up. And then just slowly bring it down straight. There we go. Now, I made this. This is actually, I forgot to give you a size, 5 1/4 by 1 1/4 with the gray. And the DSP is, and when I say DSP, that's Designer Series paper, just so you know, 5 1/4 by 1. And I made it so the length of the gray is the same as the length of this. It's going to go over the pink, which is what I want it to do. Let's go ahead and get that on the card. I just love that embossing folder. I love to emboss. I emboss all the time. How many of you guys emboss? I love embossing my cards. It just makes them extra special. Okay, you know, I think I'm going to go like this too to see if I'm getting that line straight. That looks pretty good. So I lined up the edges with the gray edges on the card. Now let's bring in these. I'm going to put my flowers right in the middle of my scallop circle. Or oval, I mean. Getting my shapes messed up. Should be ashamed of myself. I know that's an oval. Okay. Now I'm going to put this on with dimensionals. Since this is a dark gray, I'm going to use my black dimensionals. I know the pink underneath it is light, but I'm going to use my black because I think it hides better underneath this. Oh, I lost my screen again. Hold on. There we go. You're not noticing it. I just know I'm noticing it. I need my computer to keep going. And I actually didn't put that right where I wanted it. Let's see if I can lift that up. Okay, I could. I wanted it more up there. I looked over at my screen the time I was putting it down and didn't get it down where I wanted it. Take these off. Whenever I use this so I don't get these little paper backings all over my house. I always get paper backings all over my house. So you go at an angle and just kind of scoop it up. And that way you can get all of these on here, like so. They're all together. They're not flying all over my house. I can put them in my little trash. And I've got a little dish here next to me putting all my trash in. Okay, I'm going to put this here, about in the middle. Okay. Now we're going to put a greeting on there. So I'm going to use this little piece of Very Vanilla. This is I actually did measure this because I want it to be the right size. It's a 1 3/4 by half. And I'm using the Banners Pick-a-Punch, I think is what it's called, from the annual catalog. And I'm going to use this one right here. It gives you 2 different looks. And this is a 1/2 inch, these guides. The little one is a 1/2 inch, 3 1/4, and 1 inch. So this is going to go right in that middle. Now this is pretty short, so I'm going to have to push it in. I'm going to push it as far as it can go. And it is right there underneath. I know it's in there. Punch, come back out. And there's my perfect little banner. I'm going to take the Best Wishes stamp. Now all of these stamps I'm using for this card are coming from that Queen Anne's lace. And with my basic gray ink pad again. And let me grab my Pierce mat. I want my banner to be over here, the part I just punched. With this being photopolymer, I can line it right up. Now the reason I do the punching first on these is sometimes when you put it in there, this might have punched farther down and then it would have gotten into where I was stamping. So that's why I do it the other way. Oh, hi, Danette. I love this color combo. I love the pinks. And actually, these are just about my wedding colors from a long time ago. It was actually more of a rose color, but it's close. Okay, now I'm not going to go ahead. I'm not going to put a dimensional on this. It's going to go on here. Enough of this is going to be on my flower layer. It's okay that I don't have a dimensional there. So I'm just going to put some adhesive on this end of the banner. Put it right here. Okay, there we go. Isn't that pretty? I love that. I was so happy with the stamp sets that Stampin' Up! Picked out to add to the starter kit this month. They are just beautiful. Oh, thanks, Danette. It was kind of pretty, if I do say so myself. Okay, over 31 years ago. It was I think back then everybody was doing the dusty rose and the blue. Well, I did gray instead of blue. So I was a little different, but I still like the rose. So there's my first card. And remember, if you comment, and Danette's already in the drawing now, whenever you comment while you're watching the live, or if you do a like or love any of the emojis, you'll get put in a drawing to win all the cards that I'm making today. So there's the first one. And don't forget, if you share the video and comment shared in the comments section, then you will get put in a drawing for some embellishments that I forgot to pick out before the video, but I'll let you know what it is later. And to share the video, you don't have to watch it live, and you've got until Thursday, September 24th to share it. Okay, let me start card number 2. This one is going to use the So Much Love stamp set. Now, I know I've got a lot of people coming on now that weren't here at the beginning. 31 years is a long time. These are the 2 stamp sets that you get added to your starter kit for free. And this was the one I used for the first card. Now I'm going to use this one for the second card. And then the third card is going to be using both of them at the same time. Okay, so now let's grab a piece of soft sea foam. Now this was one of the colors that's going to be in that Christmas paper pumpkin. Didn't realize that till I started telling you the colors a minute ago. And if you did miss the beginning of the video, you can watch the recorded version as soon as the live's over, so you can watch the beginning of the video. See, don't worry if you think you missed anything, you can watch it later. Okay, so there's that. That was the regular 8.5 by 5.5 piece folded in half. Excuse me. Like I said, I've still got a little bit of a cough from that awful cold I had. Okay, here's a piece of Whisper White. This one is 3.5 by 4 3/4. Now this is a rubber stamp set, this so much loved, but I still like using my Pierce mat. I think it gets a nicer, crisper image. So I'm going to stamp this in the basic gray again. Like I said, I'm only using these 2 ink pads, because when you start off as a demonstrator, you may not have everything. So I want to show you how you can do it with just a few things. Okay, stamp this here. Hold it down. There we go. We've got that pretty flower. Oh, I got a little mark right there. I was afraid that was going to happen. I can fix that. We'll fix that here in a minute. I've got something I can put over that. Okay. Ooh, I forgot something on the first card. Let's hurry up and do that real quick, because I do not want to forget that. I wanted to use, you could use the Rhinestone Basic Jewels that you automatically get in the kit, but I wanted to use the Champagne Rhinestone that are also in the annual catalog, just to put a little bling on this. There's something about when I do a live, I tend to forget my bling. Don't ask me why. But I remembered when I made that little boo-boo on the second card about the embellishments on that. And then I'm going to put another medium. Well, let's put a large one down. Let's use all 3 sizes. And the basic rhinestones that you get will also be, the 3 different sizes. Oh, and there's one thing I keep forgetting to tell people when I do the prize giveaways. I can only do it with people that live in the United States. Thanks, Dorothy, for putting down that you're in Wisconsin. That helped me remember. You have to live in the United States to be able to be put in the drawings for any of my giveaways. I had one lady that won the cards last week, and she lives in Canada. I thought, well, I'll still send them to her. It was going to cost me over $12 just to send 3 cards to her. That's crazy. I don't know why they had to charge that much. But because of Stampin' Up! Rules, too, I'm also only supposed to do business with people in the U.S. So I'm sorry about that, but it's only for people that are in the U.S. So I do appreciate it when you tell me where you're from. It's also neat to see where everybody's from, too. Okay, so now we've got that bling. Didn't that just set it off? That bling just, it needed that, too. It looked pretty without it, but I think it makes it look even better when you put those rhinestones on it. Okay, back to our original programming. Now we're back to the second card. Now I'm going to use my favorite blends. I love blends, love to color with them. This is the Dark So Saffron. I'm going to go ahead. I'm still going to use my paper, but I don't need that Pierce mat. I think it's a little easier to color when you're on a hard surface. See these little bitty flower, I guess you call it stamen there in the middle of the flower. I'm going to use the blunt tip, the smaller tip, and color in those little things here. And Danette, you're in Michigan. I thought you were. I know you've been on here before, and I remember you saying that. I was thinking you were U.S. Okay, so there, we've got that So Saffron on there. And I did come out of the lines a little bit, but don't worry, we're going to color around it. It's going to look just fine. It actually kind of gives it a softer look, I think. Okay, now I always start with a dark color. Those of you who see me do blends, you know this. Some people like to do the light first and the dark. I like doing the dark first. So wherever I think there should be some shadowing, and that includes down here in the middle, because usually in the middle of the flower, it's dark, or a darker shade of it. So I'm lightly, and yes, I'm using that brush tip. If you do it really light, which you want to do light, because it'll start fraying your tips. I always do a very light touch, and that is all you need with these blends. And your tips will last a very long time if you do that. They will start fraying pretty quick if you don't. So I'm going to just keep doing that. Since this is kind of folded over right here, I'm going to put a little bit right there too. So hopefully you're seeing this. Sometimes it's hard to, with me coloring, you may not see exactly what I'm doing, but you'll see it when my hand starts moving away from it. Hopefully you'll get too bored watching me color these. I might miss some of your comments right here because I'm concentrating on my coloring. I love to color. I have to admit, in videos, it's like, oh, because I know you're just sitting there watching me. Hopefully you're still having fun. With my recorded videos, I can speed it up a little bit and it doesn't take so long. But lives, you can't speed things up. But this does not take that long to color in. So you can see everywhere I want it to be dark. And I don't know if you noticed too, I'm doing little zigzags because I don't want this just to be like a little oval. When you look at flowers, it's not going to be a straight line. You want it to be a little jagged. And I'm just doing every petal, the base of the petals dark. This one is folded a little bit, so I'm going to go along that little area. That one's folded. That one has a little fold in it. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now with these little ones, I'm just going to make the bottom part the dark. So do that. And you do want to go over it a few times. I don't know if you notice, I'm kind of going back and forth. You want to have a few layers of that color in there because you want it to start soaking through the paper, which it is starting to do that with me. That helps with the blending process, and it makes it look nice and crisp. It looks so pretty. Now that we've got all the dark petal pink in there, I'm going to grab my light petal pink. And when you buy these, they're $9 for the pair. Now I'm going to go over my dark and color in the whole petal. I'm just going to quickly do this now. Oops, I forgot a dark on this little flower. I didn't see this little guy right here. There we go. Now I've got all my flowers done. I'm going to color over the whole thing. I'm just doing it quickly right now. I'm not going to worry about blending. And you'll see right here in a minute. Well, I'll just tell you while I'm coloring. You have to let the ink dry just a little bit, and then you can start blending. It actually blends a little better that way. You don't want to keep going over it and over it while it's wet. It just seems to work better if it dries a little bit, and it does not take long to dry. These are alcohol-based markers. That's why you have to make sure you get those lids on really tight, because they will dry out very quickly. Okay, just about done with all the flowers. Okay, now I'm going to put this up a little closer. I don't know if you can tell, I hope you can tell in the video. Some of the lines, the shading is just really a stark difference. It's dark and then all of a sudden it's light. And I want it to blend in between. So right where those colors come together, I am going over it again with my light, just where they come together. And that blends it. And it almost makes it look like you have 3 shades instead of just the 2. Because I'm not going all the way to the end. So it's going to be the dark, the dark and the light again, and then just one coat of the light. And that kind of gives you that 3-tone effect. And just keep going over those. There we go. And I'll do that a little bit with the little ones. Those didn't need blended too much. Okay, I am going to have to change my computer. My screen keeps going off. Okay, so there we go. We've got all the pink in there. And now let's hurry up and do the leaves. I'll be all done coloring. And I promise there's no coloring in the next one. This is my, I'm sorry, I want the dark soft sea foam. I love this sea foam color. It's one of my favorite greens that we've got. I'm just going to put a little bit of the dark right here in the middle, doing it jagged, just along that middle vein. But like I said, doing a little zigzag while I'm doing it. I'm not going to do every single little vein. I started to do that with my original card and didn't leave enough space for me to put the light soft sea foam. And I like having that 2-tone effect. That's why I like the blends so much. And like if you use regular markers, you know how you get those lines when you color with regular markers? You don't get the lines with the blends. That's another reason I love the blends. Okay, now I'm bringing in my light. I'm going to color these leaves in. And one thing I found out, especially with the really light colors, sometimes you don't have to go over it twice because the shades are close enough together, they blend automatically. And that's what happens with the soft sea foam, so I'm not going to have to go over it again. So we'll do all of these real quick. And to get more of a watercolor look, if you have a little white space, don't worry about it. That is fine. That's actually the look you want to go for. So here along the edges, I'm still leaving a little bit of the white underneath, and that just makes it look like it's got some highlights to it. So now we've got that colored in. Now I'm going to grab this dark one again because I forgot I had some of these branches. I'm going to use the blunt tip. I love having 2 tips. There we go. You really can't get 2 shades on those little stems, so I'm just going to do the dark. That is all the coloring, so we've got that colored in. And in the second card, I'll show you how you can use this without coloring it in. Okay, now I'm going to grab, this is a greeting. It's also from that So Much Love stamp set. It says So Much Love for You. I'm going to stamp up this. I'm going to do it lightly because there is a lot of rubber around here, and I made the mistake when I made my first card. I got a little bit of my gray right here on this piece. I might go back and trim that off a little bit. So I had some black that I didn't want, kind of like what I did here. So we're going to put this right here. There we go. I'm going to grab a piece of our beautiful petal pink striped organdy. This was actually ribbon from our catalog last year. And I'm so glad when it came back this year. A lot of times our ribbons only last about a year. But this is one that must have been super popular. I know I've always loved it. So I could just put some of the seal on the ends of this, but I'm going to put it here on the back. I know it's going to be here near the top, so I'm going to make 2 little wide strips. I can make a wide thing of the adhesive, so that way I'm going to catch it no matter what. Now, I could wrap one long piece around here and do my little knot. I think it's easier to do these 2 pieces. So they're both 6-inch pieces. Put it about where I want it, wrap it around, and since I made that adhesive kind of thick on the back, it's going to catch that ribbon. So there we go. That's ready. And I think it's easier to tie this on once it's all together. So I'll tell you that here. So I'll leave that there for right now. I'm going to go ahead and put this on a piece of petal pink. Again, this is a 4 by 5 1/4. Get this going. Okay. And I always put some seal directly on the ribbon too. That way it doesn't pop up once it's on. So I'm going to grab this. Like I said, this is let's see, what size is this? The Whisper White was 3.5 by 4 3/4, and this is 4 by 5 1/4. I wanted an extra wide border on this one. And then we're just going to pop this on to my soft seafoam card base. It's one of the few colors that has 3 words. We've got Night of Navy and soft seafoam. I think that might be it with the 3. If you think of another one of our current colors with 3 words, let me know. That's the only 2 I can think of off the top of my head. Oops, I lost my screen again. There we go. I want to make sure everything's still working. I always need my computer screen to come up so I know I'm not freezing anywhere. Okay, now that these are on, I'm going to take my other 6-inch piece. And because I've got my words over here, I want my ribbon over here. I kind of don't want everything on one side. Now, you can go for that look if you want to, but I like to make them on opposite sides. Now, let me just show you how to do it. I put it like this, so it's perpendicular to the one that's attached. And I only do 1 single knot. So I'm going to do this, because if I do a double knot, it's going to not look really good. This makes it so this is a little thicker. Just play around with it till it looks the way I want it to. This is kind of doing something weird, so I'm going to twist this around. Just keep playing with it until it looks good to me. Okay. Of course, live video doesn't want to cooperate, but that'll work. There we go. That looks better. Now I'm going to grab my scissors and trim the ends at an angle. I always trim it at an angle. There we go. That looks, I think I finally got it where I want it. There we go. That looks good. And it'll eventually kind of go at a diagonal, which is kind of what I went for with my first card. There we go. So now we've got that. I want to put my bling on it. This time I'm going to use the Elegant Faceted Gems. These are from the annual catalog, and they're new this year. And I'm going to use each color on this one. We've got some clear ones, and they are faceted. You probably can't see that in the video. They're not smooth, they're faceted. So we've got the clear, petal pink, and these, I don't know what you call those. Not really iridescent, but they're, if you think of the word, let me know. I can't think of words today. But, see that little boo-boo I made? You might not see it. There we go, that little black mark. I'm going to let's grab a pink, well, let's grab a white one. That's what I used originally, and I think that's going to cover it up just fine. A clear one, it probably wouldn't have covered it up. I'm going to put it right there. There we go. Can't see it anymore. Yay. That's actually about where I was going to put it to begin with anyway. I'm going to grab a little small clear one. Let's put it about right here. And then grab a big petal pink one. And let's put it about right there. So now we've got a little bling. Whenever I put bling on, I always use a odd number of embellishments. So there's card number 2. that you could earn when you comment and you live in the United States, during the live, that is. And I will draw the names when the video's over and then come back and make another post so you know who won. Okay, so that's card number 2. Now I'm going to use both of the stamp sets that you can get free added to your starter kit for free. I'm going to grab the same color combo again. Now this time, this is going to be a little bit of a different card. Excuse me. This is a piece of basic gray. It is a half sheet, but it's cut lengthwise. So this is 11 by 4 1/4. Take that back. I made it shorter. I took off, that's what I'm making for the special card. This is actually, normally if you wanted to have the fold at the top, you could fold it in the middle to 5 1/2 and make a card that way. I wanted my front to be a little shorter than the back piece. So this is actually, I wrote it down, 9 3/4 inch. So it's 9 3/4 by 4 1/4. Now, since I don't want it to be folded right in half, I'm going to grab my Stampin' Trimmer again, or paper trimmer again. And the 5 1/2 inch is what I still want the back to be. So I'm going to score it at the 5 1/2 inch mark. The front is the only one I wanted to be shorter. So there we go. And then we can just fold that. And now the front is shorter than the back. I like to do that every once in a while. I make normal size cards most of the time, but I like mixing it up sometimes. So now we've got that. Let's go ahead. The stamping is pretty much like the first card. I'm going to use the Queen Anne's lace again. Grab my Pierce mat again. Use my basic gray. This is going to be the exact same stamping as the first card for the flowers. I'm going to put this here with the basic gray. Have the bottom of the stems hang off this edge. That's why I always put scrap paper on top of this. That way I'm not stamping my Pierce mat. It can be wiped off, but it takes longer for the ink to dry, and then it could get on your project. So that's why I always use paper. Then grab my Petal Pink ink pad again, the flowers. Now you could easily watercolor these in if you want to get more of a watercolor effect, but I really like just doing this. Okay, lined up. And it doesn't line up perfectly, which is perfect, because that's a look you're actually going for, so you don't have to obsess about getting it exactly straight. I love it when they do that for a stamp set. Okay. Excuse me. Let's go ahead and get all the stamping done. I can tell my throat's getting dry again. Here's my 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece of Whisper White, and we're going to stamp the greeting down here at the bottom. This one is from the So Much Love stamp set. So like I said, I'm going to use both stamp sets on this card. Do my Hello Friend. I'm going to do it here in the bottom left corner. Okay. This is actually going to be the inside of the card. But because I made this shorter, here, let me just show you, because we can go ahead and attach that now. We've got all the stamping done. I can get that out of the way. We will just put this on the inside of the card so I don't misplace it. I am so good about putting things over to the side, covering them up, and not being able to find them again. So we're just going to put this right here on the inside, like so. Oh, my screen went off again. Boy, I'm going to have to make sure I change that setting next time. See, you can still see that Hello Friend right there. So it's just a neat way to make things a little different. Get that folded a little better again. Now we're going to do some die cutting. Let me go ahead and close these up, because I do not want any of my cardstock to land on it, on an open ink pad. Okay, grab my, this, get it in the screen so you can see. Let's go ahead and grab the number. Okay, we've got the number 1 in, number 2. I'm going to use my magnetic plate again. Use this. I'm going to use the same oval setup I used before. So this is the second largest oval in the Layering Ovals dies. And I made this white piece extra big. That way I don't have to worry about that flower being totally centered. Let me grab the one I didn't have as much cutting on so you can see what's going on. Okay, we've got that. One thing I'm finding out when I die cut during a video, it jiggles my whole table, and the whole video jiggles. So hopefully that didn't mess you up too bad. Here's a 3 by 4 piece of the basic gray. We're going to use the largest scallop from that oval set. And that magnetic platform just, oh, it really holds. I can move this really easy if I wanted to, but it's on there. When I don't want it to move, it's not going to. I love that. I have a video I just got done yesterday. I'm going to post it tomorrow on YouTube. And I had 2 layers, like designer series paper and cardstock, and it still held it pretty good. So I was happy with that. That kind of put it to the test. So here's my scallop oval. And that is it. I was thinking I was emboss this one, but I'm not embossing. So we're done with the die cutting machine. Let's go ahead and put this on my scallop oval. I almost said circle again. My goodness. I know these are ovals. I just keep wanting to say circles. Get that in there. I like how the scallop is just bigger. I mean, I like it being that close together. I like having a smaller scallop. I just think it makes it look really pretty that way. Okay, I'm going to grab a piece of petal pink. This is a 4x4 piece. Go ahead and grab this. Again, I forgot I am doing some more stamping. I knew I was forgetting something. That's why I was thinking I embossed this piece, but I am going to be stamping the So Much Love. We used the larger rose on the first card. I'm using the smaller one on this one. And I'm using that little splatter piece there. So bring those in, bring in my petal pink again. And we are going to go old school and stamp the big flower, make my own background paper. I'll put one there. Hopefully it's showing up in the video. I'll put it a little closer so you can see it. And I always go with triangles. Now I've got 2 there, and I make them go different ways. Let's try this. Because I'm going to have an oval sitting there, so it's okay if I have a few gaps. And let's do one right here. And let's go ahead and do something right there. There we go. So now we've got our little, see the different images? I'm using the same color ink as the paper. I do that a lot. Now I'm going to add a little splatter to a few places. Okay. Let's see that one there. That looks pretty good. Put some in the corners here. Okay, so now I've made my own little designer paper. Oops, moving my screens around here. Let's see, now we are done stamping. Get that out of the way. And we're going to attach this to the card front, just like so. Get the flowers going the right way. Just put that right in the center. Okay, and then I'm using the Peony Garden DSP from the annual catalog. This one is a 4x1, and I'm going to put it without a mat directly on here. Take that back. I'm getting ahead of myself. I need to grab my silicone mat, and I used almost couldn't see it. That's why I almost forgot it. These are square vellum doilies. Let me put it on here. You can see it a little better. Isn't that pretty? I love it that it's vellum. I love these. I almost forgot about these. And you can kind of tell which side is the front. This kind of looks flat. You can kind of see how it was cut, and this is nice and smooth. So I know that's I want that to be my top. And I'm going to be hiding the center part with my flowers. So I'm just going to put a little seal there. And I'm going to put some right here. This is going to be along my bottom. Okay. I'm not going to put anything here where it's going to be showing because I don't want any glue sticking out the openings. And I'm going to put this pretty much in the middle. That's the nice thing about having that petal pink one as a square. I was able to put this right in the middle. So I've got some adhesive here and just some right here in the middle. Now I'm going to put this on. I like using that silicone mat because the adhesive doesn't stick to it. You can peel it right off if some gets on it, and it protects your work surface. I'm going to put this along the bottom. So I'm covering up that bottom part where I put some adhesive. So I don't know if you can see that. There you go. Oh, there, you can see it better that way. So there we've got that doily. And I put this on with dimensionals. I'm going to use the black again since this is a dark scallop oval. That is, if I can find where I threw them. Oh, where did I put them? Oh, they're right here in front of me. Okay. Now, I'm going to have this hanging over the bottom like so. So I don't want to put any dimensional here at the bottom. So I'm going to put one a little farther down than I usually do one right in the center and on top and bottom. This one I've got a little lower than the center part. And then one here on top. Grab my Take Your Pick tool and put this on. And that doily just gives a nice little accent to this. There we go. So that is card number 3. So I've got them all done. So those of you that have commented or liked done any of the emojis during the live video are going to be put in a drawing, and you will, and if you live in the United States, you will get all of these mailed to you. And I meant to bring those others. And I've got the Christmas ones from last time too, and I'll do a drawing for those also, since I couldn't mail them out to the lady that was in Canada. And I really, if you watch this later, I'm so sorry. I really wish I could have done that. I just couldn't afford to do $12 to send it to Canada. So here we go. Here are the 3 cards. So if you comment or do any emojis saying you like it, you'll be put in the drawing, and I will come right after the video and let you know who won. So I will go back, and because I have my new computer, I'm not frozen. Is every time, those of you who have been watching my lives, by the end of the video, I could never go back to me because that screen would be frozen, and I found out it was my computer. So with my $200,000 in sales that I reached, that was a milestone I reached last month, I got a bonus from Stampin' Up, and I was able to get a new computer with that. So it came perfect timing because my computer was about ready to die. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. I do want to give you the date for the next one. The next live will be 2 weeks from today. It's at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. I might change that. I made that for the next time. It seems like 2 o'clock is not working for a lot of people. I had more people coming at 3 o'clock. The only reason I changed it because another demonstrator was doing it at 3 o'clock, and I didn't want to compete with her. But I might go back to 3. We'll see. But I do plan to do it next on that Friday, September 25th. I'll give you a heads up before I decide that. I don't want you to miss my 12 weeks of fall and Halloween videos. I was doing those every Tuesday, but when I was sick the last 2 Tuesdays, I haven't been able to get it up. So I do have the one I was going to do last Tuesday up made. I'm going to post that tomorrow. So tomorrow you'll be getting 2 in a week's time. They'll both be Halloween. Tomorrow's will post at 3 p.m. tomorrow, and then the next one will be, oh, that shouldn't say the 22nd. It's going to be the following Tuesday, which that would be the 13th. Is that right? Whatever this coming Tuesday is, that's when the next, the 5th one will be. So the one tomorrow's my week number 4, and then the following, then a few days later on Tuesday, it's going to be the another Halloween, be week number 5. Okay. Can't believe I put the 22nd on that. I don't know what I was thinking. But I'm really glad you could join me today. It's a lot of fun. And those of you watching the recording, I hope you enjoyed the video. And I'll see you all in about a couple weeks. And if you want to see any more recorded videos, make sure you check them out on YouTube. And I've got a link to that in the video description. If you're watching on YouTube, you're already there. So have a great weekend, guys, and stay healthy. Bye.